I don't have any funny little names for you guys today. I really forgot that I had to think of some. So we're just gonna go with twat waffle. Um, I'm Esper. This is Violet, and
I
that over
know.
there is the beautiful Elvish. I don't know what's
This
happening
is
on
a
that side of
train
the
wreck.
desk. A what?
This is a train wreck.
It's not. I was just thrown off because I usually have a name in my head and my brain just went blank.
Nah, it's fine. We can do twat waffle again. I think they like it.
I just really like saying twat waffle.
It's fun, yeah?
Uh, yeah. I wanted to say something with cunt, but like nothing is good with cunt. Like,
I mean, in the books we read.
there's nothing, and oh no, we're gonna get into that. But there's nothing in there that was like cool little name, because nobody's using like weird little genitalia quips at people.
Yeah, unfortunately, we get the genitalia names from this book, and my god, I want to throw myself out of the top floor of my house. If I read one more goddamn thing that says my folds, I swear to God, I'm ending my entire fucking existence.
Ooh, I'm right there with you. Anyways, y'all are confused. We sidetracked. But today we're talking about Lights Out by Navessa? Sure. Allen. It's a pretty cover. I'm looking at the book right now and it's a very nice cover for the content that is inside. But that's besides the point right now. So as you know, read your triggers. This isn't like a super crazy triggering book, so we will not be reading them for you. But please do read those. I still don't want to read the comments about, oh my gosh, I didn't want to read about that. Then you shouldn't have.
You shouldn't have clicked on the video. Like, what? You see the title
Exactly.
before you click. Like, you literally see the book cover before you click on the video. That is a you problem.
Exactly.
I need coffee.
Exactly. Oh, I should have made some before we did this.
You know, I'm gonna scroll through Uber, knowing full well that I don't have the money to pay for their quadruple.
Oh, I know.
Excessive
$8 service fee?
Right?
Jesus Lord.
$8 service fee, like $2 fucking delivery fee. A $2 coffee is now $10. Like, it. You want a $2 coffee? It's now like $28 to like $50. I'm just like, are you good?
Yeah. Yeah, it's literally insane. Anyways, I'll do this summary and I will try not to ramble about certain points. What is this chick's name?
Allie?
I'm gonna call her Allie. I'm not. She's Italian, yeah? I'm not Italian, okay? I'm not gonna even try to say her last name.
I have words.
You have words.
Listen,
I'm not gonna try to say her last name.
You know, I'll wait.
Actually, this is probably one of the easier Italian last names, but still, I'm not gonna do it. Anyways, we follow Allie, and she is an ER nurse. And, you know, just based off reading the first, like, 3 chapters of this book, I am so sorry that y'all go through the things that y'all go through. If you are an ER nurse, we will be getting you slippers and, like, those chairs that kind of just suck you in and make you feel super comfortable, because holy fuck, I don't know how y'all do that. Anyways, so she's an ER nurse who has discovered that she has a thing for masked men. Because who doesn't?
But we all, honey.
Yeah, for real. Since COVID, I think everybody discovered that they have a thing for masked men. I've personally never done this. I don't know if the rest of y'all do this, but she like hyper fixated on one specific masked man. which kudos to, girly, you know what you like, who turns out to be an ex-hookup's roommate, which is always fun and exciting. His name is Josh. I don't remember what his last name was, but his name is Josh. She's left several comments, several very concerning comments on his videos, and he decides, because he finds out he knows her, he decides, well, if she's all talk, then this won't amount to anything. But if she's not, who's the wiser, you know? So he breaks into her house, which is a little scary, but he breaks into her house, makes a thirst trap video in her bedroom, and then leaves his mask on her bed for her to find, so that she watches the video and it's like, oh my gosh, that looks like my bedroom, and then realizes, oh my gosh, it was my bedroom. So they take a little while to warm up to each other, because obviously she's got walls up. She's very like, this is fucking creepy, but also turning me on.
He has
but also...
a singular wall up and it's like half cracked.
Okay, yes, it is. But she pretends, okay, as we all should. We shouldn't just fall over and be like, yes, I'm doing this. That's
There was a lot of power behind
unstable.
that, yes.
Yes.
That was kind
I
of
would
impressive.
be like, I'm down. I'd be like, I'm down for this. I don't know who you are in real life, but you broke into my house, and that is commitment. So, anyways, they have a little bit of a rough start. But she ends up warming up to him, and then goes on this quest to figure out who she is. I personally think she kind of found out his identity rather quickly, but the guy is like all tatted up and super big, so I'm gonna assume that's very distinctive. But anyway, she figures out it's Josh, like, not even halfway through the book.
Yeah.
And she doesn't tell him because she wants to be super, super sure. But then she ends up letting the cat out the bag. But he's still keeping up the facade, so I don't know what that's about. And then one day she walks into work after having all of her... Well, I don't want to say all of her sexual needs met, because they weren't at this time, but a good portion of her sexual needs met. And she runs into... I guess I can't even say supposed, because it like turns out that he is a rapist. Can we say that? Can I say it like that?
Yeah.
Okay, so she runs into a rich boy rapist, and I guess snags his attention, because she kind of goes off on him a little bit. So a little bit after that man is discharged from the hospital, he tries to break into her house, not very gracefully at all. Josh goes down there, slugs him in the face, and then they're like, oh, well, this is kind of awkward. We've got to get him somewhere. So they tie him up, do all of the things that you do to an intruder when you're not going to call the police, and they throw him in the back of her car, and they drive off to his previous victim's family's house, because they've already exhibited that they don't like him and they want him dead. So they were like, this is a great opportunity. We'll drop him off on the property. They'll probably kill him. We won't be at fault. But sadly, or not sadly, depending on what side of that argument you're on, he's dead. Mr. Rich Boy died on the commute to these people's houses. So now they have a slightly bigger problem, because they have to get rid of the body. So we find out that Allie has mob connections. Well, maybe she doesn't have mob connections. Her family has mob connections. Whatever the story is. And they go to her uncle, what the fuck was that? Uncle Nico? Is it Nico?
It is Nico.
Yeah, she goes to her Uncle Nico. And she's like, hey, I have a dead body in my car. He obviously gets mad at her, but they start the cleanup process. Josh decides that they need to go to Rich Man's house and wipe his computer because he could have been looking stuff up about Allie, and that would just lead the cops back to them. And, you know, they don't want to go to jail. So he wipes Rich Man's computer, almost get caught by the police.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah. And then they live happily ever after. Like, there's not a lot of plot in the book, which I have words for, but I'll let Elvish say her words first.
No, I don't understand how this entire family, like, once you meet Nico and everything, this entire family is mad, super Italian. Like, the Italian hand comes out, and, like, but when you, like, read about Allie, she, to me personally, first of all, who the fuck named someone Allie? That's such a whitewash name.
Her name is
character.
Alyssa. No?
I don't fucking know.
Hold on, I'll find it for you. He sends it in a text, and they do text bubbles. Oh, by the way, I love when they do text bubbles, so I know what the fuck I'm reading. Am I lying? Do they not do text bubbles?
They did text bubbles in Little Liar. Yeah, we tend to read 2 to 3 books a week, so we are.
Yeah, I'm lying. They just do what is it? Italicized.
All I'm saying is there was no, like, hint or even description or anything to kind of, like, tell us that she was Italian until her mob boss fucking uncle comes out and he's like, I can't do impressions, but imagine Scarface or some shit. Like, bro, like, it just wasn't, like, it's fine. I didn't understand that. It was kind of like a plot point. Or like a plot hole for me. I don't know. Oh, but wait, you would need an actual plot in a book for there to be a plot hole. My bad, excuse me. Moving on.
That's crazy. Her name is Alyssa.
I should have, you know, no disrespect to the author. I'm sure you did great. Oh, that's so bad. I'm sorry. I'm not a morning person. We always do these at night. I'm doing this in the morning time. I'm feisty, okay? I should have known something was up when I read from TikTok author. Okay, if you have to put TikTok before author, we already know it's gonna be good. You know, there are so, ma'am, Navessa, I think that's your name. Hi, ma'am. I'm gonna hold your hand. Come sit over here. It's fine. Come sit. Tap. Okay. I'm gonna hold your hand when I say this, and I mean this with absolutely all due respect because your book wasn't bad. Please, for the love of actual everything fucking holy and to ensure that I keep my uterus intact, please ensure that you actually use sexy terms. If I have to hear my folds one more time, or better yet, if I have to hear someone say unload inside of me, I swear to God, I am going to literally saw off my own fucking ovaries and just yeet them out the fucking top bedroom window. No one should ever say the words unload inside me. There are so many better ways of saying it. That was just disgusting. And
it happens more than once.
Oh my God, like literally the last like 75% is just my folds, my slippery folds.
Ew! No, stop. Oh, and then the wet slippery sounds.
Oh,
please.
God.
Girl, like, we know. Can I say the P word?
I don't know. You can on Twitch. I don't know on here. Punani?
Yeah, we know what wet punani sounds like, okay? If you don't know what wet punani sounds like, go mix some mac and cheese. But we know what it sounds like. I do not need to read wet, slippery sounds.
Like, I don't know. Okay, so like my only big like deal, like my only big thing with this is I understand if can we oh god, I don't even know if this is a dark romance. This is like young adult. But
Is
let's
this?
just
You want me to look?
I think it's supposed to be dark romance, but it's written in a very juvenile sense in my opinion. So I'm thinking it's a young
Oh.
adult.
So I can see if it's a new adult because of the.
I don't even know if but if this is attempting to be, let's just say dark romance. If this is attempting to be a dark romance, there are so many fantastic dark romance book and like series out there that does the whole descriptive stalker like thing incredibly well. And I feel like if you are one that wants to get into this whole scene and wants to create a book that's similar in a sense, you gotta bring your A game. And I feel like having the same like 3 descriptive words throughout the entirety of like what a 300-400 page book, it gets old. And there's no way that like constantly hearing the same, okay, I get it, there's a sex scene, oh there's another sex scene, okay, wow, okay, so we're on the 5th sex scene, it's basically a copy and paste of all the others, what else is new, skip, you know what I mean? Like it loses interest so incredibly quick, and I just was not feeling it. Oh,
Yeah, so it is a new adult book. And if you didn't watch the last video where I said one of the books that Elvish liked, what was it, The Ritual?
The
Was
Ritual.
written as a new adult book, I'm going to repeat myself. New adult is a book that has the writing style, okay, style of young adult, which means it's very easy to read, but the content itself is adult. A lot of you people out there be like, I've never heard of new adult, that's a made-up thing. It's in fact not. New adult was introduced because I don't know what fucking group was like, we are losing a lot of readers between middle school and high school, so we need to make a subcategory where they can kind of transition from kids books to like teen books. And then they did the same thing from teen books to adult books, and that's why it's called new adult, because it's supposed to bridge the gap between what you're reading in high school to what maybe you'd be reading in college, and then when you're out of college then you get into the adult books. So it's an easier transition to read these books, and this very much reads like a new adult. That's not a bad thing, it's just not the adult content that an adult would be looking for
my
if they're
God.
further along in their life than college.
And or have read a plethora of other dark romance books that does it like top notch, and then you get this one, you're just like,
Yeah, it was an interesting experience. Like, I could understand if you're using unload once. I've seen that in an adult book. They use it one time, like almost as an experiment, and then the author's like, yeah, that wasn't good, but we're gonna leave it anyway. But this was like every time.
oh my God, it's like, it's such a disgusting term. Like there has to be some, I mean, I know for a fact there is a better way of saying it because every other book does it properly. Even when we read Little Liar, they did it properly. And it's just like, bro, like, you want your reader to be invested in what they're reading, but you give them like lackluster terms. And it's just like, I can't get behind that. But
Yeah,
on a good note, this book was somewhat funny. It did actually have me
was.
laughing, so that was good.
Yes. Especially when Uncle Nico said, come inside, it's cold as a nun's twat out here. I was like, damn. R.I.P. to all the nuns out there, but that's a good one. So I'm going to be using that. And for those of you who are saying the hate for the sex scene words is forced, I'm going to read you an excerpt from our DMs. Okay,
Oh
this is
God.
Ovish, by the way. Are you ready? Okay, well, gotta go wash my folds now. Have a good night. Oh, didn't you know having fluids unload in you is considered sexually appealing? Oh, excuse me. Having fluids unload on your folds is considered sexy. And then I proceeded to say, never put them together. My punani just removed itself from my body. I'm now built like a Barbie. So, yes, it's not forced, guys. Half of the stuff that we say in this podcast comes from our DMs.
My God, like I do want to like make it clear. I was so excited for this book.
She
But
was.
it was just nothing like what people like. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. You know those trends on TikTok? Obviously you must because you are a TikTok author. Fucking cringe. God help me. You know those trends on TikTok where they're talking about books, obviously, and it's like 5 books that are overhyped, 5 books that are appropriately hyped, 5 books that are not hyped enough. This book is on the top of the overhyped. I don't see what the point is behind this book. There's literally, everyone kept saying, my God, the plot in this book was so good and the spice. Miss Ma'am, there's no plot whatsoever. You get maybe 2 chapters of her being a nurse. I would have actually loved to see more, to be honest with you. I would have loved a more like in-depth, I guess, well, side plot of her being a nurse and what goes into it and all that, but instead we just get cringy, thirsty fucking comments on this random guy's account. And then like, oh my God, like he's doing the cringy ass fucking videos, and like I'm on Bike Talk as well, so like I see, well, not really anymore because I've blocked them all, but you know that whole like hovering over the camera, grinding your hips, like
Can we rewind that to you blocked them all?
yeah, I get tired of seeing the same tiny little shrimp dick trying to grind himself on his phone. Like, bro, I get it. Like, you are a pump and done fucking 1-inch defeater. Like, I don't need to fucking see that shit. He's like, let me grind on you, mommy. And I'm just like, you are literally inside of my skin and I still can't even, like, remotely see, like, the tiniest bit of a prick.
Oh my God, I'm dying.
And then you get, like, the female versions of the book talks with their fake-ass tits. Like, oh my God, these are so real. Come milk me.
Ew, no. I hate that. Please. I hate
Listen.
Come milk me. I'm not a cow. Please go away. Oh my God.
Oh God.
Oh
Like,
my God.
I'm just, like, so literally that's all Josh is. He's, like, one of those cringy, like, he, like, okay, this is how I envision it. Right? This is why we don't do podcasts in the morning. I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's entertaining.
Listen, she walks into his room one time and she's like, oh, wow. Like, I guess trying to think of it.
I can't with the way you said, oh, wow.
I think...
Okay, I'll stop laughing so you can finish.
I think she's trying to make it like the fucking red room in fucking 50 Shades of Grey. Let's be real. It's probably musty as fuck in this room. It's fine. So I can just imagine it. He has to like prop his phone up like on the bed so it doesn't move. And he's like holding on for dear life. Like, I'm gonna grind now. And then like all you like, I could just imagine fucking his roommate in the fucking doorway. Like, what the fuck is happening? I'm a snake.
Oh my god, I had to take my headset off for a second. That was crazy.
I'm so fucking irritated. I'm so irritated. And like, don't get me wrong. Like, I love myself some dark romance. I love myself some fucking stalker romance. First of all, Esper has stuff to say about this, so she can definitely take over. But how are you going to literally sit there and say that this is a stalker romance? Motherfucker didn't even stalk her once.
Yep. Look. Don't judge me. Also, if you're my mother or oh my god. or anybody that knows me, no, you don't know me right now in this second. But I have read many stalker romances. This was some light stalking. Like, yes, he internet stalked her and got all of her information and stuff.
Ooh, cool kid.
But he didn't really stalk her. Like in what was it? Little Liar?
Mm-hmm.
And Little Liar, he stalked her. Like that was some stalking, okay? He was following her everywhere. He was keeping his distance, but like still there. He had several cameras set up in her house. He was going in while she was sleeping and doing shit and then leaving. Like that is stalking. This was light stalking. Like, I get that his expertise was, hacking. So I guess in that sense, he was a stalker. But there's a fundamental difference between, I guess, an online stalker and a stalker.
Side insert. It also makes me laugh whenever, like, in my life, I actually, like, have someone, like, my partner actually does, like, coding and does all back-end stuff. It's so funny watching authors write about hackers and coding, and it's just like, did you Google these terms, ma'am? Because I don't really think you know any of what you're talking about. You just did it because it sounded cool. You're like those movies like Kim Possible or something where you're like, let me breach the database. Click, click, we're in. It doesn't work like that.
Look, don't
Sorry,
be slandering
continue.
my Kim Possible.
Oh,
like
no,
that.
I love Kim Possible. It was the only name I had.
Got it. Like,
All right,
Casey on
continue.
your cover does the same thing.
Oh my god, like any fucking like Mission Impossible even does the same thing. Like, dude,
Yeah.
it doesn't work that way. Continue,
So-
sorry.
The stalking was okay. If you're reading this because, oh, he's a stalker. It depends on what your brand of stalking is. If your brand of stalking is like the show You, if you haven't seen it, you should watch it. That's stalking. Then this book, not for you, because this is not that brand of stalking.
If you're
This stalking
if you're expecting a
It's
Zayd
okay.
Meadows, you're getting an Urkel.
a hot Urkel, but yeah. But this is
Urkel
like
number one.
behind a screen stalking. And then there's like a little like in-person stalking. And yes, he like hacks into the cameras at her work and where she goes works out and stuff. So like there's that stalking. But there's not following her from this place to this place to this place to this place. So there's that. Also, I'm going to read to you what the back of the book says. I don't know if this comes in hardcover, but this is the paperback version. I'm going to skip all of the non-important stuff and go all the way down to the last paragraph. It says, together, Allie and Josh live out their darkest fantasies. They do indeed. Unaware that Allie has captured the attention of someone with far more sinister intentions. As Josh turns from predator to protector, he must ask himself how far he'll go for the woman he's obsessed with. That gives you like, oh my gosh, someone far more sinister? Whoa, right? Because I read the back before. I read the backs of books before I like read the book.
I do not.
So I was intrigued because I was like, dang, this sounds kind of interesting. And then you get halfway through the book and you're like, where's the far more sinister guy? And then you meet him. And explain to me how Josh can sneak into her house without making any noise, sets up cameras, does the whole fucking shebang. No noise. Nobody finds out. Like, yes, he causes a power outage, but that's besides the point. And then this rich fuckface decides that the author decides that he's the far more sinister individual, and he can't even get into her house without making a loud ass fucking noise. How is that far more sinister?
His character was so horrendously done as well. I'm just saying.
Like, explain to me how that is sinister. I got nothing sinister from that. To me, I was like, so an amateur burglar is at the door. And I get that maybe the far more sinister thing is that he had like 2 dead bodies in his house, so he's a murderer. I don't think I can even say that word, but anyways. But if you are gonna paint him as a rich asshole who has mommy and daddy clean up his messes for him, do not say far more sinister intentions, because mommy and daddy are cleaning up his messes. His intentions may be worse than his, but there's nothing sinister about this guy.
Well, I even think at the end, mommy and daddy had zero idea what was going on, because they thought the maid, like, whenever we found out that he had like dead bodies in his house, they thought the maid forgot the trash. They didn't even know that there were dead bodies.
Yeah. Well, mommy and daddy was making sure he wasn't going to jail, but...
Oh, yeah.
So I get from the perspective of, well, he's a killer, so obviously sinister. Okay.
Oh my god. Sorry, I have one more thing. Whenever you're done. Oh my god.
I get that. I get that argument. But do not paint him as a spoiled little rich boy, because I'm not going to think sinister. It's like, seriously.
No. Absolutely not.
That wasn't a plot point that was in any way engaging or like hooking you into the book. Honestly, what hooked me was all the giggles that I was having. So
yeah.
I'm done. You can go.
I guess my final thing, because there's really nothing else for me personally to talk about this book. My final massive complaint, I understand this whole, let's do the whole writing a weapon thing. It's so sexy and dark and oh my god. My fucking god. You fucking twat. First of all,
no waffle.
No waffle. You don't get that pleasantry. But like, literally, if you wanted to do like this whole being forced to, I guess, have sex with a weapon, there are so many books that do it like 10 out of 10, 1000%. Like, would I ever... I'm dying. Would I ever go out of my way to have a pew pew in my punani, like Haunting Adeline? Absolutely the fuck not. But was that one sexy ass motherfucking scene? Yes. Like, bro, there's a way of doing it and there's a way of not doing shit. And besides all the comedy aspects in this book, everything in this book was not it. I'm still gonna read the second one because I'm kind of interested. I don't like Nico at all, and he, I guess, is the main character of the second one, so I'm gonna have choice words for that one too. But, you know, it's just, there are so many ways of doing things the right way, but you kind of just, or like the author just kind of went with like the wokeness of it all and was like, I'm on TikTok, I should know.
It's about Junior, not the Uncle Nico. It's about his son.
Oh, perfect. Okay, I like Junior. I don't fucking know. But either way, I'll just do my rating because I really have nothing left. You know, despite all the shit talking on this book, I don't necessarily... So, okay, if someone is asking me for like a dark romance, stalker romance, I do not recommend this whatsoever. I feel like if you're getting into dark romance, maybe... But I feel like this is, and I know I've already said it, but it's a very juvenile, like, I wouldn't even say new adult at this point. New adults only because it fucking says folds 10,000 times. I wouldn't even say that. Like, this is a very juvenile book. So maybe if you're getting into dark romance, I might say this, but then it gives you some false hope of what dark romance as a genre might be. So I personally don't recommend this, but I do think the only saving grace was the comedy aspect. It actually did have me laughing all the way through. The 2 chapters of plot that we ended up getting kind of saved me as well. So I'm giving it a very, 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 very generous 4-star rating, because not too many books do the comedy aspect well enough. They attempt and it falls flat every time. This one actually legitimately had me laughing out loud. And it also had us together laughing out loud when we were making fun of the atrocious descriptive words. So you know what? I'll give it a generous 4-star. I still don't really recommend it though. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd give it a 4 as well. I can't. Never mind. I'm gonna keep that to myself. Y'all don't need to know that information.
No, ma'am.
I will tell you after the podcast, but I will not be telling these people that. Oh, I almost did too. That was craziness. Anyways, I would give it a 4. I think my issues were that I expected a more fleshed out plot, and I got like a short story type of plot, which kind of ruined it for me. I did have a lot of laughs. They are very funny in this book. Like, I would this is sad to say, but I would probably recommend this as a comedy.
Yeah.
Because look, that shit was funny. If you've read what is that series that we're doing that I have to like catch up on?
Dream Harbor?
Yeah, that one. If you've read the Dream Harbor books, like that kind of funny is in this book. Although less small town and more like, I guess, haha funny, adult funny. Because that one sometimes is like a little high schooler funny to me, but it's still funny. So it gets a 4. The writing wasn't terrible. I liked how the knife play was written out. Oh, I can't say that. The stabby play was written out. Well, he doesn't stab her though. Like, anyways, mostly because I do think that this is an intro book to all things. Can I say kinky?
Sure.
All things kinky, because it's
We'll
like.
see.
I don't know any other way to say that. All things taboo, I suppose. So it's very intro, but I've read a lot of books that market themselves as like intro, and a lot of the content isn't, and it romanticizes wrong practices when you're doing some of these taboo acts, and this one doesn't. There's a lot of aftercare that happens in a lot of the scenes where it's like a little intense, which you don't see in a lot of books, so I appreciated that. But again, the plot made me sad, and the characters aren't super rounded characters. Is that?
That's valid.
I don't want to say that they're like two-dimensional, because they're not. Like, they have some substance, but it's like half substance. So that could have been better. I don't think a 4 is generous. I feel like a 4 is right where this book is, like a 3.5 or 4, depending on your preferences. But again, the laughs just take it to a 4.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
That's all I have. It wasn't supposed to be that aggressive, but this entire review was so aggressive.
No, but I loved it.
I mean, it ultimately just was not a bad book, but when you're advertising, and I've seen a lot of lights out advertisement on TikTok as well, you're advertising it to be like, let's say, a sheep, but then whenever you actually read it, you get a kitten, and you're just like, wait, these aren't even remotely the same animal. They're not even the same size. They're not even the same like fucking color. Like, what is this? And like, it just,
they're both fluffy.
right, that's the only thing right there. That is the only thing. And it's just like, it was very, I lost the word. It's very like, you know, the word where like you go in thinking it's going to be this, but then it's not that.
Misleading?
Yes, thank you. It is a very, very misleading book as far as the advertisements go, the synopsis goes, all that. But I don't know. It was funny. I like when he's like, I'm Batman. I died. I fucking died.
And he says it to the cat too.
He forgets his like voice mod thing and he's like, how's this? I'm Batman.
Yeah, like that was
and
good.
The cat's just
that
like,
was really funny. The cat's like, yeah, that's good, guy. You got this.
That's it. I mean, it sounds like with the way we were talking about it, it sounds like it deserved lower. But no, I think 4 was good. But it's up to you if you want to read it. I personally, I don't suggest this book, but it sounds like Esper does. So, up to you guys.
Yeah, it's a good don't judge me if you pick up this book after I say this, but it's a good light read. If it's not a light read for you, I apologize, but it was a really good light read.
Yeah. I had to do the audiobook version because I was at work.
Oh, is the audiobook version better? Like
Well, so there are certain books where TikTok recommends that you do the audiobook instead of the physical book, and this was one of them. It was okay. It was like,
so, yeah.
it was okay.
I don't trust books that are like, oh, do the audiobook, it's better that way. Right. But it should be good both ways.
Right. So it's good that you got one half and I got the other half.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
But okay, that's all I have.
Bye.
Damn, that's quick. Okay, bye.
No.